Alright, so this is just a quick disclaimer in front of this video. We're going to be dealing with some pretty heavy stuff today, so I guess this is a trigger warning. Trigger warning. Hey, trigger warning. But we wanted to let you know that even though we'd make some kind of edgy jokes, this is an issue that's very serious to all of us. So, and yeah, I guess that's it. Enjoy senioritis.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
We just haven't been feeling it lately.
You bouncing baboons! Don't you know you have senioritis? Bye!
What is senioritis? After all, feeling exhausted and disinterested in school isn't something that only applies to upperclassmen.
I'm Noah Oda, and I am a senior, and I suffer from senioritis.
Hi, I'm Hannah Holiday. I'm a junior, and I suffer from senioritis.
I'm Ryan Mays, a freshman, and I suffer from senioritis.
My name's Atticus Hakey, and I'm a sophomore, and I have senioritis.
Senioritis is a misnomer.
So if we can, let's try to find a better word for senioritis based on the agreed upon symptoms. So let's see. Poor school performances or frequent absences are definitely one. Tiredness, insomnia, or sleeping too much are another. Feelings of hopelessness or a bleak worldview. Trouble thinking or concentrating. Frustration, sadness, or acting out. Oh, you know what? I think we have a word for that already.
Alright guys, we figured out that senioritis is depression. Good night guys.
Let's look at the facts. About 20% of teenagers will experience depression at some point. And given that there's a certain urgency to the situation, it's probably better we would get to work sooner rather than later.
Let's take a look at what it is about high school that causes depression.
Part 2. Fluorescent lights. Part 3. Relentless. Every day there's something new, meaning any day a student misses could set them way behind. In addition to that, most students have jobs which makes staying after school to talk to the teacher borderline impossible.
So can you tell us about a time that you've missed a day of school and found yourself way behind?
Yeah, on Tuesday, I missed school, and I have like 2 math homework sheets I have to make up and a bunch of other stuff and a quiz, so it really sucks.
I was actually sick for 2 days, and my grades dropped dramatically.
I missed school for a week and had a week's worth of homework that, on top of the next week, that was all due within the next few days.
I have to take mental health days for my depression. So then I end up with a whole ton of makeup work, and I then suffer from more depression because I have so much work and I can't make myself do any of it, and then I have just a whole week's worth of work that I have to do in like 2 days.
When students need to show up as often as they physically can, it leads to students attending while sick, which prevents them from getting a mental health day.
Part 4. Sleepless. By now we've all seen studies about how teenagers are programmed to fall asleep later at night, but even if we magically change teenagers' genetic material so we'll sleep at 9, that won't make us better rested.
Part of this has to do with the regular stress quizzes and tests bring.
Yeah, it was about last week with a math test. Did not understand it at all.
Math class is a little harder for me, so whenever a test comes around, I'm always stressed out because I just want to make sure I do good.
There was one time where I had a college algebra, college biology, and an AP US history test all in one day. And it was the day after a choir concert, so I had to be up late studying, and I ended up pulling all-nighter, and it did not go well.
Quizzes and tests are designed to cause stress. Otherwise, no one would study for them.
But given how students are constantly being barraged with these stressful quizzes and tests, is it any wonder that we're having less and less productive sleep? And when a student doesn't sleep, will they do worse in school, which then causes them to stress, which then makes them sleep worse, and a vicious cycle is created. At a certain point, it might seem easier for our students to throw their hands up and say, whatever, I give up. It's not like I'll need to find the inverse of matrix in real life. Which brings us to part 5. Part 5. When are we ever going to use this stuff? It's almost become a cliche for students to question their education.
Why did I agree to do this stupid song? I have a degree in chemical engineering.
Given how school is supposedly our jobs, it feels like we're being paid in the wrong currency.
So do you feel like what you're studying now is going to be relevant to your job or your life outside of school?
Not many subjects outside of math apply to my hopeful career, so.
Not that relevant, to be honest.
I think some things are probably good to know, but there's a lot I don't know still, like some important things like taxes or whatever.
Part 6. No say. This is the most important aspect of all of this, because when we wake up early to spend 5 days a week every week to learn irrelevant information with fluorescent lights, it can make you feel trapped.
But surely if a large group of teens have depression, there should be some sort of sign.
Part 7. I want to die.
So do you want to die?
Oh, absolutely.
If there was a car crash or a car just kind of scraped me on the highway, I wouldn't be too upset about it.
What's up, man? How you going, man? You want to die, man?
Yes.
Is that enough of a sign?
Part 8. Maybe. So let's hear it, Mr. Smart Guy. If everything in this school is causing depression, what do we do?
Well, I really don't have all the answers. Or rather, Jason doesn't have all the answers. What we do have are some suggestions.
Maybe we can find some alternatives to fluorescent lights. Maybe we can spread out off days across the school year. And maybe we could restructure classes so students aren't insurmountably behind if we miss a day. And maybe school could feature more practical classes. Maybe school doesn't need to start at 8 a.m. And maybe just as human beings, we need to be more willing to listen to one another and not to attempt to discount each other's experiences.
I don't know about you, but I'd rather have a system where students want to live and attend school rather than die and miss it.
I don't mind other guys dancing with my girl.